So I'm back with Erin Fitzgerald on her thoughts on abortion. So thank you, Miss Fitzgerald, for coming for doing this interview.
It is my pleasure.
So what are your thoughts on abortion right now?
Abortion is a very complicated issue. However, I do believe that what is essential is that women have the right to choose how to live their lives. If a woman is not ready to be a mother, this is one option.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, in your opinion, when does life begin then?
I think you really do have to think about when the risk of miscarriage is over. I'm not sure when life begins, honestly. I guess I can't say.
Do you think anybody knows when life begins?
I think we want to believe that science can answer that question, but I believe it's more complicated than just what science says. I think that I'm not sure when souls incarnate, honestly. I tend to believe in a more spiritual picture. I mean, I think that you hear stories about children who try to be born several times, which suggests that maybe everything's not as clear as we think it is. So I have a very unscientific, complicated view.
Mm-hmm. True. So the people who are anti-abortion, why do you think they are anti-abortion? And what do you think is their origin of their beliefs?
I'm not sure. I think some people believe human life is sacred and that it is up to humans to respect all life, which I totally agree with. However, I think that unfortunately abortion tends to put one life as a priority over another life. Too often women are left to take care of a child they may not be ready to care for or have the means to care for. And they are left to do it on their own. And they are left with the entire responsibility. And therefore, I think people who think that life matters and they believe in pro-life probably think that we shouldn't have a variety of views on what makes life important. But I also think you can see a similar issue raised by euthanasia, whether people should have the right to die when they're ready to move on.
Mm-hmm.
I think autonomy versus life is a difficult question. And certainly for the fetus, if you believe it is life, or human life with consciousness and a soul, then the problem is, of course, they don't get to choose whether to live or die.
So you're Catholic, and so do you think...
I was raised Catholic.
Okay, so do you think that, do you know anywhere in the Bible where it says abortion is, or is not okay?
No, I don't. In fact, I know more about God's forgiveness of women than I know about where abortion occurs in the Bible.
So why do you think these pro-life people are so saying that God wouldn't want this?
I have very cynical views. I think the personal is political, and frankly, different men need soldiers, and so if you keep women having babies, you will have more lives to send to be slaughtered in war. It's a very cynical view.
Yeah.
I also think that they are trying to exert control over women, and by exerting control over women's bodies, they can exert control over women's lives. Women are objectified, and this is just another way to do that.
Definitely. So then, my next question is, do you think that many people just voted for Trump because he's pro-choice? I mean, I meant pro-life when they didn't actually look at his other other views and values.
No, I don't think this was as much of an issue this time.
But do you think it has been in the past?
Yes.
Like, name an election for me, please.
I remember growing up and hearing Reagan, certainly, when the social views of conservatives were much more prominent.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think what we get with Trump is a lot of bigotry that does not just fall onto women.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome for that weird little view of mine.